When you get your US visa, when you finally book that flight, when you've packed your bags, when you've got everything you want, and you are super excited, don't get too excited because you can be denied visa upon the port of entry. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Patty. If you're joining in new here, I share videos on travel, lifestyle, immigration pertaining to me, and of course vlogs on here. So today, on today's video, we're going to be discussing the most frequently asked questions or how to avoid being denied a visa upon entry into the United States. Guess what? I watched someone, not that I heard or anything, I watched someone denied visa before me. You know the pain you go through booking this appointment and everything, and you get to be denied visa upon port of entry. It aches right to the marrow. Please, if you want to avoid these hurdles, please watch this video right to the end. The last one is very important. I saved the last one for the best. Guys, you want to watch this video right to the end because I'm going to be sharing the most important tip at the end. Yes, guys, the last one on this is, do you plan to extend your stay in the United States? Please, what do you mean by do you plan to extend which stay? They've given you maybe like 1 year, 6 months visa. And you want to, how do you want to extend your stay? The answer should be straight. It is very important to note that before entering the United States, the Custom and Border or Protection officers are going to ask you a series of questions. Of course, they're not just going to yank you into their country just like that. So make sure you prepare your mind and be focused when you are currently in front of the immigration officer. Because the fact that they've given you visa, they have the 1000% right to revoke that visa, to refuse you entry. All of this will depend on how you answer various questions or questions pertaining to your visa type. Remember, if you're visiting under B-1, no matter the visa type you've applied for, and I speak only on my own terms, B-1, B-2, make sure you are answering those questions pertaining to your visa. The first question the immigration officer usually asks, I'm going to be looking at my computer, or the common questions they usually ask is, what is the purpose of your visit to the United States? Remember, you had filled your purpose on your DS-160 form and you had gotten your visa. So for example, if your purpose to visit the United States is for business purpose, clearly state, I am here visiting for business purposes. Simple and straight. You don't want to say, okay, I'm here visiting and I'm going to be visiting some friends. I'm going to be going to this place. You're just all over the place. Be straight and precise. Otherwise, if they ask you to defend more, then you can give more information. The second question the immigration officer is going to ask you is, how long do you plan to stay in the United States? You should be able to answer that question by stating clearly, I am going to be spending 1 week, 2 weeks. If you had stated in your DS-160 form that you're going to spend 2 weeks and you come in front of the visa officer and you're like, oh, I'm going to be spending 1 month, there's already like a disparity. You don't want to get yourself into that. State exactly what you're coming for and the duration of time to save yourself the stress and also the visa officer. And the third question they usually ask is, where will you be staying in the United States? Again, back to the DS-160 form. You need to state the hotel or the accommodation, the Airbnb or whatever that you stated in the DS-160 form. And make sure, oh my God, this happened to us. Make sure to have that address. Please, I don't know which word to use. Make sure to memorize that address. Because I was singing my address in my head, and I was singing it. And when it reached at that point, they were like, where are you going to be staying? I just called out the name, the address, because of course they can look it up. You don't want to say, I am going to be staying, for example, in Washington, D.C., and upon entry, because of all the excitement, you say, oh, I am going to be staying in New Jersey. New Jersey and Washington, D.C., those are two different states. So please, 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 please make sure this is so important, guys. Please make sure you get the exact address you're going to be staying at. For example, if you book a hotel, don't say I'm going to be staying at maybe Hilton Hotel. State I am going to be staying at maybe 1486 Street, blah, 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 Hilton Hotel in Washington, D.C. that if possible, call the country code, the area code is very important. That will make the visa officer know exactly what you're doing. The next question they're going to ask you is, do you have a return ticket? Of course, if you're coming in under B-1, B-2, you should definitely have a return ticket. You don't book one-way ticket. Come on. You can book one-way ticket. So you have to book when you're coming in and when you're leaving. So if possible, if they ask you that question, you can just present the ticket to them and say, this is my return ticket right here. And they're gonna, you can move to the next question. The next question they can ask is, what do you do for work? Of course, you're gonna state what you're doing for work. Yeah, so that one is very easy. We don't need to talk too much about it. The next one is, do you have any family or friends in the United States? This is a catch. Did you fill it on your form that you have family and friends, and you're coming in front of the visa officer standing like an orphan? No, I don't have any family and friends. Did you do that? Please. I always say this, if you've been given a visa and if there is a way, those questions you fill on your DS-160 form, make sure you have them handy. Because they're going to play like, just to see if what you're saying is true or something. So don't say you have friends in the United States when you stated in your DS-160 form you don't have friends. This might affect your entry into the US. So please make sure you get this information correct. Let me check if it's recording. Okay. I don't want to talk here by myself. And the next question they're probably going to ask you is, have you visited the United States before? Of course, you can say it's very straight. No, I've never been to the United States. This is my first time and I'm excited to be here, blah, blah, blah. That is all what you need to do. So, yeah, and if you visited, you say, no, I've never visited. And if you haven't visited, you will say, no, this is my first time of visiting the United States. The next question they're going to ask you is, how much money are you carrying with you? This is another important question. You don't want to leave, for example, you're leaving your homeland and you're carrying an amount of more than $10,000 cash. You're going to justify where that money is coming from. You don't want to get your cash seized at the port of entry. You can show maybe like my credit card, I have like 2,000, but you can do more research on how to carry cash around. But I don't think it's about like $10,000 you have to declare. Like, babe, so I was trying to ask my husband if it's possible. Yeah, so you can't really carry so much cash to enter with, but make sure you have sustainable cash, because you mentioned earlier that, okay, I can be able to sustain myself with $10,000, right? With $10,000 and all of that. You should be able to show proof like, okay, I have money on my credit card, I have this. That alone gives the visa officer or tells them you know exactly what you're doing. Places do you plan? The next question is, what places do you plan to visit in the United States? Trickish, right? I'm just covering my eyes and laughing because this is another important question. DS-165, I don't know how I'll emphasize the importance of that form, because you remember there's a section there that states, name the various places you're going to visit in the United States, and you did mention. If you had mentioned you're going to be visiting Seattle, for example, you're going to be going to Nebraska, you'll be visiting maybe Chicago or whatsoever, and you come on there and you're saying, I'll be going to Los Angeles, I'll be going to Nevada, and all of that. Please, that is not what you stated in your DS-160 form. You want to be truthful. You want to tell them exactly what you are going to be visiting or the places you're going to be visiting. That is very important. And also, how will you finance? Most of the time, they might not really ask you these deep questions, like how will you be financing your stay? Of course, it still boils down back to like how much money you can say, okay, I have my expense will be covered by me or by the organization from what you feel from your DS-160 form yet again. So you have to answer that. And again, what kind of business activities will you be doing? Don't come and say, I'm going to work here and so on. You came for something, right? If you came for like maybe an IT person, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be building a software for so and so company, and I'm going to be doing this. In fact, just name your job description. Just say exactly what you're going to be doing. I don't want to say something that will be away from what you already mentioned at the DS-160 form. Yeah. And are you bringing any gift or item to sell? Of course, you know how to answer that. In some cases, they might ask. In some cases, they might not ask. All of these questions I'm trying to enumerate here, they might ask some, and some they might not actually ask. And again, do you have travel insurance? In some cases, yes, you might have your travel insurance. And in some cases, you might not. You know, it all depends on if you have it. Yes. So if you have a travel insurance, you can show proof of travel insurance if applicable. In my own case, it wasn't applicable. They didn't ask me for that. The last one is very important. I saved the last one for the best. Guys, you want to watch this video right to the end because I'm going to be sharing the most important tip at the end. Yes, guys, the last one on this is, do you plan to extend your stay in the United States? Please. What do you mean by do you plan to extend which stay? They've given you maybe like 1 year, 6 months visa. And you want to, how do you want to extend your stay? The answer should be straight no. You are spending 2 weeks. You are spending 1 week or whatever. They have given you multiple entries. Yes. You are spending so and so amount of time. So please, you want to be precise and say exactly the amount of time you're going to be spending in the United States. You don't want to give them the impression that you're coming to like stay. Yes, there are options. There are various options that can help you to, to stay. But in this situation or in this facet, no. You plan to return according to your scheduled departure plan, full stop or date. That is it. You don't want to beat about the bush. Oh, I want to do this and do that. So these are the stuff that you need. 1, documentation. 2, clarity. 3, honesty. So that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video right up to this point, and I deeply appreciate it. I don't want it to go anywhere because I am bringing more and more US visa tips. And guess what? You don't want to miss this one for anything. In the next video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I moved from B-1 business visa to another visa type. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next part. Ciao. And please don't forget to subscribe. And again, I share content on other stuff, lifestyle, travel, vlogs, and so on. If you jump on my vlog, don't watch it. Please just like. The algorithm will recommend. This is not an immigration channel. Unfortunately, I'm just sharing this, my own lifestyle. I'm just sharing my own personal experiences on immigration. Maybe it might help 1 or 2. And it has been helping a lot of people. I can't really even say the amount of emails I get and all of that on this topic. People getting their visas, assisting people behind the scenes. It melts my heart, and I'm so super grateful. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next immigration video. Bye. Peace out.